This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Stanley Fullord. In this week's broadcast, members are called to mission and individuals are encouraged to keep moving. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. The South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists hosted an inspiring Mission Refocus weekend on April 19th through the 20th. This special event was designed to remind the members of the importance of mission outreach and to equip them with renewed passion for sharing the gospel. During the two-day series, Inter-American Division Executive Secretary Dr. Leonard Johnson and General Conference Executive Secretary Dr. Erden Kohler emphasized the role of mission within the Seventh-day Adventist Church and the need for active outreach. During the Sabbath morning service, Miles LaRota, Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, and Senator Maxine Seymour brought remarks commending the Adventist Church for its efforts in community outreach ministries.
I continue to congratulate the Adventist Church for its Bahamian ideology that has changed the way Bahamians think about themselves, about the gospel of Christ.
We're grateful to you all as Adventists for everything you do in our Commonwealth. I'll tell you, there's a high incidence of NCDs, non-communicable diseases, in the country. And imagine how much higher it would be if not for that Adventist population, helping to keep us very aware, keeping us healthy, keeping us aware of ourselves, the need to take care of our bodies as the temple of the Lord.
During this presentation, Pastor Johnson emphasized the concept of Mission Refocus as a time to reignite the church's shared purpose to teach and baptize all nations as mandated in Matthew 29:19 through 20.
In a special sense, Seventh-day Adventists have been set in the world as watchmen and what else? Light bearers. There is no other work of so great importance. They are to allow nothing else to absorb their attention. We've come this afternoon to be reminded that this church, the Church of God's planting, has been organized for the purpose of mission.
He also reminded the members that the church's mission is for everyone to consider how they can contribute to spreading the gospel.
So it's not that we have this mission focus now, and then after this weekend, it is gone. Mission becomes a part of us. It becomes who we are. Every day, we are focused on what God has called us to do. Not just pastors, but every church member, and she says, not just the old ones, but also whom? The young ones.
Dr. Erden Kohler shared the importance of Mission Refocus to the members, reminding them of the church's commitment to sharing the gospel and making disciples for Jesus.
We are not here to support each other. It's part of church life. But we are here to raise and shine, to share the message. And from time to time, we need to spend time and more time to remind our commitment to the mission. The reason why God raised this church. Don't forget it.
Kohler also invited the attendees to recommit to the church's mission. He requested that the members seek practical ways to support mission work by trusting in God and answering the call.
Don't forget it. The destruction of our church is a priority on the enemy's agenda. The church is not what is happening now. The church is not this building. The church begins when the service ends. That is the church. When you leave this building, when the new week starts, when you go to your office, to your business, to your classroom, there is the church.
The weekend concluded with a practical and empowering training seminar led by Dr. Leonard Johnson, targeting local church board leaders and executive committee members. The session focused on how church leaders can effectively foster a culture of active evangelism and mission within their congregations. Guided by the second law of health and one of the program's 10 challenges, exercise, participants and friends of the 8 Weeks to Wellness program moved with intention to improve their physical, their mental, and their spiritual health. The participants met at Goodman's Bay Park On April 21st for a fun run walk. The group was divided between the walkers, who journeyed from Goodman's Bay to Sandals and back, and the runners who ran to Sandy Port and returned to Goodman's Bay. Striding in first place were runners Kendall Jean and Edith Tynes, and walkers Mackie Williams and Zeev Maycock. Congratulations to all of those who participated and completed the designated routes. The Health Ministries Department also expressed its gratitude to all those who assisted in organizing the event and encouraged everyone to keep moving for optimal health. Bahamas Academy's iconic class of 2025 hosted their final chapel as high school students. On April 16, administrators, faculty, staff, students, along with family members and friends, gathered as the senior class led out in the worship service. Bahamas Academy alumna Dr. Shakina Turnquest, who shared important lessons to live by, was the guest speaker for the chapel. Turnquest encouraged the students to always strive to do their best, embrace their youth, and create a community of support. We pray for the senior class of 2025, who are now in their final weeks before their graduation in June.
The countdown to World Adventurist Day is on May 17, under the theme Travel with Faith. Our little ones will show how they make a positive difference in their community. Here in the South Bahamas Conference, a joint service will be held at the Living Faith Church beginning at 4:30 p.m. And on Sunday, the celebration continues with an adventurer exhibition at the Breath of Life Church grounds from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So come out and let's support our adventurers as they travel with faith.
Welcome back to Adventist News, and coming up in the South Bahamas Conference, World Adventurer Day will be held globally on May 17, 2025 under the theme Travel with Faith. It is a special day to let our adventurers enjoy being adventurers and to show others the blessing they are to our church and our community. Here in the South Bahamas Conference, a joint Vesper service will also be held at 4:30 p.m. On Sunday, May 18th, there will be an adventurer exhibition at the Breath of Life Church grounds from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Join Grantstown Church members as they continue the Gospel series with Pastor Evangelist Wilson Isnord on the Sanctuary, the Revelation of Salvation yesterday and today. The series will conclude on May 10th and is held every evening at 7 p.m. with off nights on Thursdays and Saturdays. The Maranatha Church will celebrate its 53rd anniversary on May 3rd, beginning at 11 a.m. Join the members as they thank God for His faithfulness in leading the church over the past 53 years. On May 3rd at 5 p.m., the Children and Adolescent Ministries Department will host a charm training on practical techniques for teaching children and adolescents with autism and related disorders. The Men's Department of Grantstown Church is planning a special Mother's Day cruise on Sunday, May 18th, 2025 to Andros. All interested mothers from the conference are invited to attend. Individuals can contact the church's men's department at 557-0659 for more information. The Health Ministries Department, Adventist Health Professions Association, and Adventist Layman Services and Industries are traveling to Inagua from June 6th through the 9th, 2025 to hold an evangelistic series and health expos. Interested individuals can contact 433-6917 or 556-0492 for more information. Feel free to visit the South Bahamas Conference website at southbahamasconference.org to receive more information on all of our upcoming conference events. There you can also view a rebroadcast of our Adventist News Update along with other local programming from our cable channel ATV 658 and read the weekly logos as well as the Adventist page from the Nassau Guardian.
Hypertension occurs when there is an abnormal rise in the body's blood pressure. Blood pressure is the amount of force applied to the walls of arteries. Arteries are blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart to supply tissue with oxygen and nutrients. When too much pressure is applied, it can damage the walls of arteries, which will become weak and form an aneurysm. Not only can an aneurysm form and rupture, but buildup of plaque can occur, causing less blood to pass through the heart valves. High blood pressure can cause many issues such as damage to your arteries, heart, brain, kidneys, and eyes. Also, hypertension can lead to heart disease, stroke, and even death. Normal blood pressure is 120/80. When the systolic pressure is over 130 and the diastolic pressure is over 80 and stays high over time, it's considered hypertension. Here are ways to control blood pressure without the use of medication. Lose extra pounds and watch your waistline, as blood pressure usually increases as weight increases. Being overweight can cause disruption in breathing while you sleep, which then further rises your blood pressure. In general, men are at risk if their waist measures 40 inches or more, and women are at risk if their waist measures 35 inches or more. Exercising regularly and doing exercises such as jogging, walking, cycling, or swimming for 150 minutes a week can help to lower high blood pressure. Maintaining a healthy diet, which contains whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, can lower blood pressure. Try keeping a food diary to keep track of your eating habits. Boost your potassium intake, as potassium can lessen the effects of sodium. Foods rich in potassium include bananas, peas, and potatoes. Reduce your sodium intake by reading food labels and eating fewer processed and canned foods. Reduce stress, as chronic stress can lead to high blood pressure. Ensure that you monitor your blood pressure at home and see your doctor regularly. This has been Parisha Ferguson with your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network with our news feature from around the world.
A 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar and Thailand, leaving thousands dead, injured, or missing. The tragedy has mobilized ADRA and the Seventh-day Adventist Church in a wide humanitarian response to support survivors.
Scenes of devastation mark the streets of Myanmar and Thailand. The quake, felt as far as China and India, caused massive destruction. Roads, bridges, hospitals, churches, and homes were reduced to ruins. Thousands are dead, tens of thousands are injured or displaced, and hundreds remain missing. Millions of lives have been affected. ADRA responded immediately and is now on the ground, with emergency teams distributing food, clean water, shelter kits, medical care, and emotional support.
Well, that's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. To share what is happening at your church, please email your news stories and upcoming events to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com. To view a rebroadcast of the Adventist news along with other programming and to keep in touch with what's happening in our conference, visit our website at southbahamasconference.org. The SBC Media Network's Facebook and Instagram pages are filled with lots of material from the Communications Department, so you'll want to check those out, and remember to subscribe, to like, follow, and share. You can watch and listen to programs from our radio station, Word SBC 88.3 FM, and our Adventist television channel, ATV 658, to get updates, insights, and first-hand information from the SBC Media Network as it happens. The programming from ATV 658 can also be viewed on the South Bahamas Conference YouTube channel, so feel free to watch a recap of our Adventist news there. On behalf of our production team, it was our pleasure to bring you tonight's news update. I'm Stanley Fullord for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.